directly with our Seahawks, who they continue to be in some, off-season sort of stuff. They've got camp starting up. I've talked every last few weeks, every time at the end of the Seahawks segment about how, we're getting to mini camp and stuff like that. We are just getting into that phase. So that begins today, Monday, by the time you're seeing this. So let's get into the team notes that we have for the Seahawks. May 13th, the team signed linebacker Devin Richardson and defensive end Nathan Pickering that day, adding a pair of players who took part in rookie minicamp as tryout players earlier in the month. Richardson played at Washington State University last season after transferring from Texas and had a productive season with the Cougars, recording 62 tackles, 2.5 tackles for loss, 1 sack, and a forced fumble in 12 games. Richardson, who is from Klein, Texas, began his collegiate career at New Mexico State, where he earned freshman All-American honors from the Football Writers Association of America before he eventually transferred to Texas, where he spent 2 seasons. Pickering, who played at Mississippi State, appeared in 41 games with 30 starts in his collegiate career, recording 124 tackles, 30 tackles for loss, and 13 sacks. Pickering was also named to the 2023 SEC Fall Academic Honor Roll. Both of these two make it 3 tryout players to sign following rookie minicamp alongside nose tackle Buda Jones, giving the Seahawks a total of 19 undrafted rookies on the roster. So it's always cool, when you've got the undrafted players who are able to make the roster, who make an impact enough to get noticed, and it'll be really interesting to see, as we get through camp here and then later on, leading into the regular season, to see if these players are able to make enough of an impact to get the coach's eyes and make the final roster for opening week. But that's a while to go from here. And, with the undrafted free agents, I always think of Doug Baldwin and his story. So always cool to see Filipino pride. We go over here, May 15th, the end NFL. I almost said NWSL. We were getting ahead of myself there. NFL announced the 2024 schedule for teams, and we will look at the Seahawks here. It's going to be an interesting one. There's going to be a lot to look at for the team to break down with these different games throughout the year and how they'll go. So we'll go into it just by listing them off. The season opener is Sunday, September 8th versus the Broncos at Seattle with a 1:05 start. That's going to be a CBS game. Game 2 on the road, September 15th at the New England Patriots, is a 10 o'clock start on Fox. September 22nd in Week 3 versus Miami and the Dolphins here in Seattle, 1:05 p.m. kickoff on CBS. Then the first primetime game the Seahawks get, I believe they got 4 primetime games on the schedule here. September 30th at the Detroit Lions. That's a Monday night game at 5:15 p.m. kickoff on ABC. Then the next week, October 6th versus the Giants, is a 1:25 start on a Sunday here in Seattle on CBS. Their first Thursday game of the year versus the 49ers on October 10th is a 5:15 start. Those are on Prime Video now. Next week, October 20th at the Atlanta Falcons. Interesting to see who their quarterback will be at that time. It's a 10 a.m. start on Fox. October 27th versus Buffalo and the Bills here in Seattle is a 1:05 start, also on Fox. Got a string of Fox games here. Then the next week, another divisional rival after that early game against the 49ers. Sunday, November 3rd versus the LA Rams is a 1:25 kickoff time on Fox. Excuse me. November 10th is the bye week for the Seahawks, so kind of a early bye week. Not bad. Could be worse. November 17th at the 49ers on Sunday is a 1:05 start on Fox. November 24th versus the Arizona Cardinals at home is a 1:25 start on Fox on the Sunday. December 1st at the New York Jets. So going at the New York Jets, they're an interesting team to watch as well. As a 10 a.m. start on Fox to begin the month of December on a Sunday. And the next week, December 8th at Arizona and the Cardinals is a 1:05 start. So no funky Thursday game against the Cardinals this year. December 15th versus the Green Bay Packers at home is a Sunday night football game with a 5:20 kickoff on NBC. As we get into the last few games of the season here, December 22nd versus the Minnesota Vikings is a 1:05 p.m. start on Fox. Thursday, December 26th, so the second Thursday night game that the Seahawks get. This one against, obviously, the Bears, Caleb Williams, Rome Odunze, all the excitement there with Chicago. Thursday, December 26th, the day after the Christmas holiday, is a 5:15 p.m. start on Prime. And then Saturday or Sunday, January 4th or 5th, the date, time, and TV designation are still to be determined, is versus the LA Rams to close out the season at home at Lumen Field. The Seahawks also announced their 3 preseason games. They'll play preseason week 1 in Los Angeles against the Chargers, week 2 in Nashville against the Tennessee Titans, before closing out at home in week 3 of those preseason games against the Cleveland Browns. Those dates and times will also be determined at a later date. So we'll look at that more in depth probably next week, just so we can give it the time and space that it deserves, considering it is the NFL schedule release, and you can look at so many different variations and angles. Just, with the offseason as well, there's not a ton going on, so it'll be fun to pick and poke at that. On the 16th of May, continuing to roll along with the team-related news, there was some rumors being put around the internet that the Seahawks were going to get another jersey this year, a different jersey, a rebrand of sorts. That the mock-ups looked like you took the throwback jerseys that they started to wear this year, inspired by their 90s era themed looks, and have them more modernized and kind of mixed with the current uniforms to create new looks. Bamka Dota of the Seattle Times said, in relation to any tweets making the rounds about new Seahawks uniforms of any sort, he reconfirmed that the team has nothing new planned for the 2024 season. Seattle will go into the 2024 season with the same 4 jerseys as last year, the regular home and road jerseys that we know, the action green jerseys, and the retro 90s jerseys that made their debut last season. So put that to bed. I mean, I always kind of hesitate when I see those rumors anyway, but, if the team is telling a trusted beat reporter this, I'm going to believe that. And then to wrap up the Seahawks team-related news, on the 17th, the team signed rookie 6th-round pick Michael Jarrell, making him the 8th and final member of the Seahawks draft class. All Seahawks rookies are under contract 2+ months before training camp begins. So that's really important to see. In past years, the team has dealt with some of the rookies holding out for more money when they've selected them. That happened last year with Devin Witherspoon. I believe he held out 2 days before he ended up signing his rookie deal. So Seahawks got all members of its draft class under contract. Interesting to see how that will play out, and which members of this draft class will really make the big impact. So something to look forward to. I mean, Jarrell here, the 6th-round pick at the University of Findlay, the GMAC Offensive Lineman of the Year in 2023, started 40 straight games to finish out his career at Findlay, and comes to Seattle with what General Manager and President of Football Operations John Shiner called amazing upside. He was primarily a basketball player in high school. Jarrell was a starter for only 1 year in high school, leading to him landing at Division II Findlay. 6'5", 294 pounds, obviously a big athlete, and impressed as a participant at Ohio State's Pro Day. So that was really cool to see. We look at that. I mean, there's some of the few big names inside. Also, another offensive lineman, 3rd-round pick, Christian Haynes. So he signed on Friday, May 17th. As the 7th player in the draft class to sign his rookie deal. Obviously, we've talked a little bit about Haynes when he got drafted. 4-year starter, 2-year team captain at UConn, started 49 consecutive games in his career, and was twice named 3rd-team AP All-American. He's expected to compete for that starting job at the right guard position, with Laken Tomlinson expected to get the left guard spot, but obviously you got to go to camp and compete there. A lot of excitement with this game. He's got good length. He's got initial quickness. Can get under people. He's got good hips. His pass protection is good. Strong hands. He's a good anchor, which is a big deal when you talk about offensive linemen. And the experience is something that's really impressed people as well. So, you play a ton of football. 50 of 51 starts. He's had only 48 pressures and 1,687 snaps. Very experienced. Some that the Seahawks scouts really, really enjoyed. So, that'll wrap up our Seahawks segment of the show. I'll read it again so that you know about it. With Seattle being one of the 8 teams with a new head coach in the 2024 year, per NFL rules, Mike McDonald and his staff will conduct that voluntary minicamp that they did back in late April from the 22nd to the 24th. That was phase 2 of their offseason program. Phase 3 began today, as the Seahawks will conduct 10 organized team activity workouts through June the 6th. McDonald will also hold a mandatory minicamp from June 11th to 13th to wrap up that off-season program that we mentioned. No live contact is permitted during this period, but 7-on-7, 9-on-7, and 11-on-11 team drills will be allowed alongside individual and group drills. The first 2 days of these organized team activity workouts are not open to the media. They are open to the media starting on Wednesday.